Lean applies to so many different areas, especially in machine shop. When you're trying to increase throughput, save money, that's where Lean is the most critical at. Having people understand Lean and having a good consultant help to organize that Lean journey, you will definitely see a savings.
That is Dan Heller, Vice President of Operations at Geater Machining and Manufacturing, talking about how Lean applies, especially in a machine shop. We'll get into his interview right after the introduction.
Welcome to the American Lean Podcast, where we cover 5 topics in 5 days in about 5 minutes. The only place in the world where you can get daily lean coaching. Your host is Tom Reed, and he shares his 30 years of experience and covers leadership, culture, entrepreneurship, lean methodologies, Industry 4.0, and interviews special guests on their lean journey. We're glad you're here, so let's go.
Welcome in to American Lean Weekday. For on Fridays, we interview companies that are on their own lean journey. Today, I'm in Independence, Iowa, with Dan Heller, Vice President of Operations of Geater Manufacturing Machining. Welcome in, Dan.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. Thanks for joining us. It's an honor to be here with you. Give us a little background about Geater. Tell us about what you're all about.
Geater's a machine shop and fabrication facility as well. We're different than most machine shops and fabricators because we do everything under one roof. We also do finishing operations, which entail painting, powder coating, hardware installation. Really, we're just a one-stop shop for a customer base. We've been around since 1962, and we focus mainly on electronic architecture for the aerospace and defense industry.
So what's electronic architecture? What's that mean?
What that means is it's any components or boxes with circuit boards or electronics that need to be guarded. These items go into planes or in the defense industry. They need to have boxes around them to protect what's inside, and that's what we create.
Okay. So we met 10 years ago, right? When we started a lean journey here at Geater, and you were about 50 people, maybe $8 million in sales. And then you guys called us again about a year ago, and we've, begun our lean journey again. Tell us, what the growth has been in that 10 years.
The growth, we went from, like I said, 80 people to 420. Our sales at that time were probably around 10, 11 million. Last year, we ended the year at 44 million in sales.
Wow. So a lot of growth in a decade. That's fantastic. So obviously you're doing something right as far as your customer's concerned, right? What made you decide to re-engage on the lean journey?
The biggest driver behind that was the fact that we needed more space and capacity. Buildings, we've added on to our building numerous times. However, that gets to be expensive, and we need more equipment. The equipment we use to machine these parts is obviously pretty expensive. So anytime we can find opportunities to do things faster and cheaper with the same amount of resources, we need to take advantage of that. So that's where Lean came in, is getting additional capacity without buying more capital.
Okay. Or adding people, right?
Correct.
Awesome. What do you think have been some of your biggest struggles on this Lean journey?
The biggest struggle was getting everybody speaking the same language. So we needed to get some training done. We currently have 420 people, and about half of them have gone through the simulation that you provide.
Right.
And I think that was the biggest issue, is just getting people to understand what Lean is and how it's going to impact them. The other issue was breaking down the barrier that this is going to take away jobs. Lean isn't about taking away jobs. It's about increasing throughput and making things simpler for them.
Right. Yeah, and it's also a top-line growth strategy, right? As you guys have shown. You performed when you were at $8 million. And look what's happened. You were invited by your customers to keep growing and to keep providing services to them. And it's absolutely been a top-line growth strategy for you guys. So talking about the struggles, which you mentioned, getting everybody on the same page, speaking the same language, what have been some of the things that you've learned from those struggles?
I think the biggest things that we've learned is the simplicity of Lean. People have gone through these simulations and they've walked out energized. They're now starting to see different ways of doing things on the floor, and they're able to work with their managers and supervisors to bring ideas and solutions to the table.
That's fantastic. As we always talk about it, Lean is really about how do we engage the employees? How do we turn 420 people here at Geater into daily problem solvers? And I think we're really doing that here, which has been fantastic to see. What do you think have been some of your biggest successes on your Lean journey?
The biggest successes have been the Kaizen events. We've done numerous Kaizen events with you, and I think a couple of them that really stand out would be our finishing operations. We did one in our paint department, and that was the biggest bottleneck that we had at that time. Material was just getting log jammed there. We're working a lot of overtime. Some of our people were working upwards to 60 to 70 hours a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
So after we did the Kaizen event, through a three-day event, We actually opened up enough capacity and increased it by about 60%. Currently, right now, that department is starved for work. We have other areas that we're trying to push work through to get to that area.
So obviously some big benefits there, right?
Yes.
What have been some of the biggest surprises you've seen as you've engaged employees and we've gotten people engaged and involved in these activities?
Just their enthusiasm. Seeing them. Traditionally, Geater's always worked quite a few hours of overtime. One of the initiatives that we have put in place is to reduce overtime, trying to get a better work-life balance for our employees. Mm-hmm. So Lean has definitely helped with that. And it's also allowed the employees to get more involved, to give ideas, to be heard, and improve their overall departments and flow of product going through those departments.
Okay. So if my company were starting Lean today, what advice would you give us?
The best thing you could do is find a consultant that is knowledgeable in Lean and has a good solid background. I have worked with some other consultants in the past, and they may not have had as much experience. They understood the theory, but being able to understand the practicality and the common sense of Lean is very beneficial. The other thing I would suggest is making sure everybody speaks the same language. We have seen huge benefits by getting everyone trained. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're halfway through that process. It never ceases to amaze me when I look at the evaluations on how engaged people really are. They're very reluctant to want to go to these classes, but by the time they're done, they see the impact of that.
Sure. No, that's great. Tell us where we can find more about Geater, and we'll call it a wrap.
You can visit us at www.geater.com. Look us up. If you have any questions, my name is Dan Heller, Vice President of Operations. I'd be happy to ask any questions.
Is there a phone number they can reach out to you guys as well? Do you have an 800 number or anything?
Yeah, the phone number at Geater is 319-334-6026. My extension is 233.
One more question. What would you say to somebody that says Lean doesn't apply to a machine shop?
I would have to disagree with them. Lean applies to so many different areas, especially a machine shop. When you're trying to increase throughput, save money, that's where Lean is the most critical at. Having people understand Lean and having a good consultant help to organize that Lean journey, you will definitely see a savings.
Awesome. Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm always looking for ways to improve the content I share with you in this podcast, so I'd love to hear from you. If you have topics that you would like covered, or if you would like to share your company's Lean journey, please contact me at tom@americanlean.com.
Thank you for joining us today. As always, we are honored to serve you, and we hope that you and your company are getting a little bit better every day. Please subscribe, rate, and review this podcast and share it with others in the Lean and business community. If you'd like to turbocharge your Lean efforts, please visit us at americanlean.com.